Horizontal ZTV is the second of the two ZVI ZTV commands which take into account the effect that distance has on the visual perspective of a development. And the best way to demonstrate this to you is to go through a simple worked example. And the example I'm going to show you is a wind farm. I will define a wind farm location on this hill, and the best way to do that is to add a link feature. Now this could have come through from a CAD drawing, or you can do as I'm doing, which is basically just digitizing the boundary. What I will do next is create a surface feature which represents the height of the wind farm. So if I say this is going to be an 80-meter wind farm, not worried about any of the other settings, but the important bit is that the height of the surface should be 80. I now fill that area in. And this analysis will also take into account cumulative ZVI analyses. I will now add an existing wind farm. So I would do the same as I did before. I'm just going to define the boundary of that one. For example, 75 meters high. Let's give it a different color. And a value of 75 meters. Okay. What this analysis is going to do is, from a user-defined receptor location, and this will be a grid of receptors by the way, it will measure the horizontal angle at the eye taken up by the target. Now there are several measures that we can perform when we do this. We can just concentrate on the one surface feature, ignoring the cumulative effect of existing surface features, and we have the choice of calculating the internal angle from the start to the end of that feature. If we include cumulative, we can also add the angle of this existing wind farm, add the two values together. Alternatively, we can calculate the bearing to the point at which we enter this surface feature, and then the bearing where we exit this surface feature, and we store the internal angle from start to finish. We can just calculate the greatest of the surface feature impacts, so in this case the greatest will be this one here. So those options will be available to us when we come to the analysis. We'll save this survey and we will choose Output, ZVI ZTV, Horizontal ZTV, we locate this surface and this surface. We create a new grid of receptors, set the eye height, and because this is a line of sight analysis, we want to make sure that the angular interval is fine enough to make sure that it hits these features, the resolution of the results will be limited by that angular interval. Maximum sight distance, adjust for earth curvature and refraction, and then the three measures. There's the maximum contiguous, so in this case from this location this would be the maximum because the range of values is greater than this one. The total contiguous will be this angle plus this angle, and then the total spread will be from here to here. So if I say total contiguous, so this is a cumulative measure, set the receptor grid and proceed with the visualization. Save and load. Load the results. And there we see the results of the analysis. And as we move the cursor around the screen, the Z value in the lower right hand corner will indicate the horizontal angle at the eye. Clearly the further away you are, the chances are that angle is going to get smaller. And again, as before, we will set the colour height bands on, and we'll set it to the range that we have within this survey. And there you go. So sitting close to the existing wind farm, you will see quite high values, and these values are getting smaller the further away we are.